HP Chemistry, how we doing this morning? Well, here we go. Last couple of weeks, down to the wire here. Most of you, from what I can tell, have been doing extremely well. I hope that means it seems like, at least to me, that you're understanding the directions I'm asking you to go through with the assignments and stuff like that. I've had a few questions here or there that I feel I've been able to answer for you, so I think things are going good there. So keep working hard towards that final goal. Okay. Uh, let's see here. As far as things go, I'm going to show you kind of what's going on. Everything that we got going the rest of the year is already in Schoology. In fact, I've got one person who has finished everything. Last I checked, anyway. All right, so that's pretty awesome. I have to double check to make sure that final assignment is done right, but for the most part, I have one person done. That's cool. So I always want to check in the extended learning folder, of course, first. So you won't find any absolute real assignments in here, so to speak, but more for these last couple of weeks, what's going on. All right, so definitely read through that. It's just kind of a quick little preview as to what you can expect. So if you're done with everything up through the acid base indicator lab, you're in great shape. You're done with week 7. Week 8 here gets into pH of acids and bases and acid base strength. Okay, pH being the concentration of certain ions. The strength of an acid or a base is thought of a little bit differently. Okay, it's all about the particles dissociating. Okay, the ions involved in a compound dissociating or splitting. The videos in there are pretty good. The presenters, Bergman and Sams, are their names. They're a little corny with some of their humor, but you're just going to have to get over it. Okay, to try not to take what they say sometimes a little too seriously. But what they talk about with acids bases is really, really good. So that's why I like how they present it. So definitely go through there, write down any and all the formulas that they start to show you when you get to that part. Super important. All right. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. I'm gonna go to, let's see here, and you can read that final week on your own there if you want to, but that gets into the final assignment, we'll call it. Okay, I think the last message I sent out to you, I alluded that I might give you a little test here going into next week, probably the beginning of next week. I'm not going to at this point. I had it all written out and everything, but then I learned late on Thursday that Chromebook turn-in is sometime like Wednesday the 3rd or Thursday, June 4th, something like that, right? Well, if that's, something you got to do and you don't have anything else to work on, it's going to be kind of hard for me to expect you to do a test and that final lab. So I'm cutting the test out. I'm making the final lab your final summative of the year. All right, it'll basically be worth a test. Okay, so get in there and get it done is all I can say there. Right. So if I get into chapter 18 here to show you what is happening and get down here, you're not going to be able to see everything that you see on my screen because I have some things kind of blocked out that you can't see when you open it up. But week 1 would have been acid-base response sheet, acid-base indicator lab. I went through your response sheets already last Thursday, I think it was, and kind of corrected them. If I liked what I saw, I gave you a 4. If I didn't, I might have given you a 1 or a 3 or who knows what. But either way, check back with me if you need to on those scores if you're not sure of something. Acid-base concentration assignment is the main assignment for this week. Okay. Once you get going on it, goes pretty good, but you got to have those formulas written down for pH values. Okay. Have a scientific calculator handy, as you'll need to be diving into logarithms a little bit. Okay. And natural logs, actually. But either way, I'll let you get into that a little bit more once you get into the videos and take the notes down. You'll be fine. Only do part 1 of that assignment. Okay. Just part 1. I think there's a part 2 in there. Don't do part 2, just part 1. Okay. It's got something like 16 or 20 different rows to it, something like that. Fill in every single one. Okay, I'm not expecting you to show all of your work for that stuff, but you're probably going to want to organize it on a piece of scratch paper and then just type write your answers in, whatever it might be. Once you're done with that and have that turned in, check the work that I have there. I have the key for you as well. If you have a chance this week, try and get into neutralization and titrations. Okay, a little bit of video notes here as well. Neutralization, what's a titration? What are titration calculations? These are all some things that you're probably going to want to pay attention to. Take a look at the neutralization worksheet. I think you'll be able to get through that pretty well. And again, submit that to me for correction. You got the key there to check your work. Once you're done with that, if you can get that done by the end of this week, you are in great shape. Okay. That leaves you one thing for next week, and that would be the titration experiment. Okay. You're not going to do that test there. Just the titration experiment. Titration, you're going to learn, is a way in which we can tell the, what do you want to call it? Oops, I'm going to go back a little bit here. I'm going to click on that. Basically, the way that we can tell what the concentration is of an acid or a base if we already know the known concentration of a different acid or a base. Okay, so more or less what we'll do here is you want to click on that. You want to read all this stuff. Super important here. Okay, especially some underlined stuff, some different highlighting as far as color. Read through everything very carefully so you have a really good idea what's going on here. I even have the scoring system or scheme that you can expect on this. Okay, it's out of 1,000 points. That's the way this website does things. If you get anywhere from 1,950, I'll give you a 4. Right, you've earned it. Below that, you can see how the scores drop off a little bit, and I'll let you kind of figure out what you got to do there. If you don't like the score you get, or kind of how things are trending, start over. It's fine. Okay, I only see your final submission. Okay, and that is going to be a screenshot of your final score in your lab book. That's what they call it in there, and with your name. Okay, that's really it. So one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to register on this website that it goes to. Okay, so you'll just register, and it's going to ask you for your name. Give me your first and your last name, please. Okay, first and last name. That's going to stick with the entire document as you're going through this. It's going to give you a login number. Okay, so if you need to re-log in, you got to stop for some reason, and you want to come back to it later, to the next day, whatever, you can use this special login number, and it will pull up where you left off. Okay, saves all your work. It's great. Okay, now if you want to go through this in one sitting, I figure it won't take you any longer than an hour and a half. Okay, I got through it in about 40-ish minutes, 45 minutes or so. I'm giving you probably twice as much time. That's where I come up with that number, and that's fine. Okay, so hopefully that'll work for you. But you'll go to quick start and titration level 1. That's the only one you're going to do right there. Titration level 1, and it's going to ask you if I registered or logged in. I'm not logging in. I'm not registering because this is just demonstration. But you're going to definitely want to do that. And then from there, you'll get to the main titration screen, and there we go. Okay, so there's our buddy Dr. J. Okay, so anyway, he'll walk you through certain things and go from there. And you just got to hit next, and they will let you goof up. I'm just going to let you know. Okay, that's where you're going to start to lose points and whatnot. But you'll be able to see how many possible points you have. Here's my lab book. So your name is going to be right up here. Okay, I didn't log in, of course, this time, but your name will be up here, and you'll see how many points you get on every one of these things. And at the total at the bottom is going to be out of 1,000. So either way, that's going on there. You do not need to download the PDF of lab book. I do not want you to do that. Just this at the end. It's going to have your point total there. It's going to have your name up there when you're all done. Boom, take a screenshot of this whole thing. You send it to me. That's your proof that you did this. That's it. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it will once you get into it if you decide to start early. I'm going to give you another little rundown on this next week if I need to, and we'll go from there and see how things go. But keep working hard. Come to me with questions if you have them. See you in Google Meets 11 to 1 every day, except for Thursday this week. Thursday I will not be available from 11 to 1. I'm going to try and be available from 1 to 3 instead. That's what I'm shooting for. Okay. Got some other stuff going on. I'm not going to be available that time. So Thursday of this week, 1 to 3. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully we're good. All right. So that's all I got for you. See ya. Boom.